and welcome to the Universus Academy podcast. I am your host, Matt Childress, and with me is my assistant to the host, Mr. Chris Smith. How you doing, man?
Tired. I'm tired still. I did
Yeah.
sleep for like 8 hours, no, 11 last night, and I'm still
What
tired. And you,
what in the
yeah,
world could you be tired from? It's just the middle of the week.
it's not the middle of the week, Matt. It's Tuesday. I stayed up late with the UK contingent before my flight on Monday, and that was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake because those guys
Mm,
are awesome. So
yeah. You only get to
I got
see
to.
your UVS family for so much time out of the
I
year,
know.
right?
I
So you
mean,
got to
like
make it count.
I hadn't seen Grant in 5 years,
Oh, wow.
so yeah, that's since 2019 Worlds, I think. So like almost 5 years. So yeah.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
great. Yeah, Facebook and Facebook Messenger and all that stuff does,
Sure. It's
keep
not
in
the
touch
same,
that
though. It's
way.
not the
But
same. You get to actually
not that,
hang out with the bros, with the
yeah,
boys.
it's not like actually hanging out with one of the coolest people in the world. So,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
but yeah, the HLC was this weekend. It was awesome.
Yeah,
That's all
that's
I'm
what
gonna
you guys
say.
were at. I
Yeah.
knew it had to be something.
Before we go any further, you were missed.
Oh, well,
Every
thanks, hey,
we had
guys.
a bunch of people asked about you, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, he should have just drove down."
Yeah, I know,
That's what,
right?
yeah, he
Look,
should have just
I appreciate it.
life
One, thank you
changer.
for missing me.
Yeah,
I missed it as
yeah,
well. I
yeah.
genuinely was watching the stream, trying to do that as much as I could over the weekend because I was just so invested and I wanted to see what was going to happen. And those were some crazy games. We'll talk about those here in a minute. But yeah, I have a severe lack of PTO at my job right now. I teach, so you already have a pretty limited amount. But even further, the way my current employer does it is you earn it each month instead of just giving you all of your time up front, which is different than my previous employer. So I had to consume some days earlier in the semester when I got sick and when my kids got sick and that
Oh
sort of stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I had not enough time, and that made it not an option, unfortunately. So,
But what I'm hearing is the HLC needs to be moved to the summer. Then is what I'm
dude,
saying. Is what I'm
anything in the
hearing.
summer, it is like at very least then a very real possibility, right? Then it just comes down to
Oh, so
finances and just making it work in the
oh,
budget.
then you have no excuse not to make it to St. Louis then for the regional.
Yeah.
Oh, putting
So
you on blast right
I know, right? So
now.
here's the thing about that, right? So my wife very much so wants to go on vacation, and
Yeah,
she's like, if you're gonna keep traveling, we got to go on a family vacation. And I'm like, all right, that's fair, that's cool, we can do that.
we're going
So
to St.
so
Louis.
if I can figure out a way to make a family vacation happen before St. Louis, I might be able to make
Yeah.
St. Louis happen. I don't know.
Well, I know a guy who lives there who may be able to put you up for free.
Okay, that,
So,
that would definitely go a long way.
you definitely you kind of know him too. So,
Yeah, we've talked a couple times.
yeah.
Well, the other thing that I would need for regionals is to not be mixed format. That would make me way more excited
Oh,
to
there we
play in
go.
them. So we'll see how season two goes. That's season two regional.
There.
Maybe they'll
Yeah.
change things up. Maybe they'll hear my
I mean,
cries. Please.
I mean, they did at least listen to the poll, and they are going with the option of you get to pick one additional
Right.
character at the end of the draft. So
Right.
that's good.
That is
You
yeah.
know,
That is definitely a
that,
better approach to it.
that's a
Um,
step.
yeah. I still just would much rather not do that in the middle of my Swiss rounds.
Oh yeah,
So
I know.
so
And I am there with you,
yeah.
arm in arm.
Yeah.
You know.
I think a lot of people have that thought, but I don't blame them for trying something new, right? Like
Yeah.
I appreciate that UVS Games has been willing to do that. And even further, each year they've reinvented things to try to just figure out what works best for
Hmm.
both them and for the players, right? So,
Yeah.
like the thing that's really cool, I've been in the process of updating our site, and making sure that it has
Mhm.
all the more current content and everything's kind of,
It also has an event schedule. I showed someone the website, and I was like, "We have all," because they couldn't find it on the website
mm-hmm,
on the UBS Games website readily,
mm-hmm.
like super fast, and kind of if their diagram isn't the best,
Yeah,
it is. It's kind
it,
of good.
it's
If you know what you're looking for, you can find it fast. But for someone who's never
yeah.
looked for it, I shot them the website, and they
Mm-hmm.
said they found it in less than 2 minutes. So there was like bing, bing, boom, and
Yeah.
then they perused some other things, probably while you were updating it,
Probably. There's been a
So,
lot of that going
you know,
on. But yeah, well,
oh
so
yeah.
that's the thing that was really cool. So, like, while I was actually updating that Google Calendar, and you should be able to, like, actually join and subscribe that. So, like, you get it pushed to your phone or whatever. You can add it to
Oh,
your own
cool.
personal Google Calendars. Like, that's
Oh,
what I have
that's
on my phone. So that way I know when events are. But I believe I made that
Mhm.
available to others. Like, you should just be able to add it. If you can't, let
uh,
me know in the
I'm
comments.
I'm I'm old, and I have it written on a calendar on my wall.
Ooh, man, you did just show how old you are. Eek. I don't,
Oh
I
man,
don't even have
no,
a
I
written
got
calendar, and I'm
okay.
ancient.
So, So for those not at my stream last night on Twitch dot backslash Brody one, I talked about a really good thing about how I got called a nice young man over the weekend. So we'll get to that
That's awesome.
after we're done chit chatting.
Yeah. So like, but what was cool is as I was plugging those dates in, I realized like how intentional the structure is, and even further how I also track all of the metadata from the top 8 results and all that sort of stuff. So I was then updating that spreadsheet so that way we can get that data to you guys as it develops over the year. And like I just realized how
Which
measured the events are. Like you get
yeah,
one webcam, one regional per
season.
region, yeah, and then you get
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then you have your qualifiers. Not like it there's intentionality there, and I appreciate that. Even if I don't like the way the regional format is, like I genuinely appreciate one that they got us that information so early, and that it's already done. Like it's just established, and you can plan accordingly. So if you
Yeah.
haven't checked that out on the site, check it out. We also got the Chrome Rare update stuff going on. So if you pulled a Chrome Rare over the
Oh
weekend,
my God.
please go and
I
fill
was
it out.
sending you I was sending you all the Chrome Rare info this week. I'm like, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Like
Right?
people were popping them off, and then I was finding out that other people had some that I didn't know. So if I
Oh,
didn't know if you knew, so I just sent it to you. So I
yeah.
was just like, here you go, here you go.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
like ideally, we want to have as many as possible recorded, so that way you guys can know, like, oh, hey, here's this one that's found. And the other thing that's kind of
Yeah.
cool, if you haven't checked it out, or maybe you checked it out and you didn't realize, but like the check marks on the card, you can actually click on, and if someone posted it on social media, there's a link directly to that item there, so you can
Oh,
see
cool.
who had it or when it got pulled or something else like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's just a little bit of extra that we try to do. That's why if you can fill out that Google form and provide us that information, so that way we can pull it all together for the community and make sure to share it with everybody.
There's been a hotbed of chromes and super hot pulls at Target packs. Those
Really,
blister packs are live, yeah. From what I've heard
dude.
and seen, those if you see Target packs, just rip
Hmm.
the entire row and take it because your bets, like
Yeah.
if you could control that, if you could control like that, the way they're sorted, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna throw all
Right.
these into blister packs and see if we can get people in,
Okay. Yeah.
collectors,
Like, ooh, what's this really
you know,
shiny thing? Yeah.
yeah, it's a shiny thing. Like one guy, like I think it was one. I don't know if I sent it to you, but I think it was yesterday.
Hmm.
Someone's like, "Yeah, I pulled some packs at Target. This card's numbered. Is it any good?"
Mm.
Like, and it's like, "Oh man, it's like And then someone came in, chiming in, yeah, they go for about like $400 to $500. And the guy's like, "What?"
Huh. Yeah.
So that's like, huh? Yeah,
Yeah. No. Um, yeah. Chromes are cool. Like that's
they're
the short
cool.
version. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
just cool.
are.
Like it was a really
Yeah.
good call to put those back as characters and put them back
Mm-hmm.
into packs. So yeah, and it's also really cool that you can just pull them out of booster packs. Like you don't have to do
Yeah.
anything special there.
You
Like
know,
you just get them. There's no more first edition, non-first edition. Like it is what it is. Pull it out of the pack, get it, and then let us know. Um, yeah, with that, like I said, lots of updates going to the site. Those are still coming through.
Mhm.
And that's what I've been spending most of my time kind of trying to get updated and and keep things going here. And I have not gotten to play a whole lot, but man, let me tell you what.
Bad face.
I know, right?
Yep.
I am going to play in a Dark Tournament release, and I am very excited about that.
Oh yeah, I am too. I think we have two on the same day. I think we're doing this. We're doing both on the 24th. I think.
So
Yeah.
I know of two. So there's one down here at one of the stores that I went to before, and they're doing theirs on Friday night, and then
Mhm.
there's the one that I'm going to in Greenville on Saturday. So
Mhm.
I may try to see if I can greet it. Like I was planning on driving up Friday night, but I may see if I can try to greet it and leave Saturday morning early and see if I can play in two, because I really want to play in that Wish tournament, man. Like I think
Yeah,
that's gonna be
me
a really
too.
cool tournament
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Like I wanna. I think ours. I think we have two. We have the two on the 24th, and I think one of the stores in Milwaukee has theirs on the 25th. So if I have
Mm,
nothing planned on the 25th, I may just drive up there and just do it. And I think they may have one on the 26th at one at another store because they have
dang.
three. They have the store. That store has like a franchise 3 location type
Hmm.
thing,
Yeah.
and I may try to hit that. But doing during the week stuff like that, they're like an hour and 20 minutes away. So
Oh
that's like
wow.
get home like at 11 o'clock at night on a
Right.
Monday night type thing, and I'd
Yeah.
rather stream and talk about the weekend and
Right.
then
Well,
go to bed at a normal time.
and like that's my situation. So like the store in Greenville's doing it on Saturday. Everywhere else here in Georgia's doing it on Saturday. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't really go to any of those except for that one on Friday. And
Hmm.
then that store in Greenville is apparently doing another one, but it's later on, like the next Thursday or Friday or something. And
Oh, sure,
I'm like,
sure.
well, I can't make it to that one. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's it's nothing guaranteed either way, right? Like even if you go and play in them, whether it's draft or sealed, you got to get a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
get
lucky
bodied,
and
you have
have
to
some things go
win.
your
Yeah.
way, and you still got to play those
Yep.
rounds and win. So,
Mhm.
but that being said, I do think this is a really cool way to try to hype up the release of the game or the set,
Sure.
and
Go for a
then
set.
um, and then also a cool way to bring standard into the new norm by having a tournament where you have to play characters that we
Mm.
haven't seen
Mhm.
played in a big tournament before. You know?
Yeah. Technically, they're kind of doing that with the Challenger Series stuff by
Mm-hmm.
giving you extra points, but technically you could still play just any deck and just register as one of those characters. I'm not doing that. I'm actually playing the characters. I have Vash playing this week if
Whoop,
this
whoop.
comes out by the end of the week. So I'm playing Life Punches Vash. I talked about it last night on stream.
Oh, okay,
I've already played Wolfwood and I've already played Spike. So,
okay.
um, and Spike is a lot of fun. It's just I think my deck wasn't as optimized. I just put in every card I could underneath the sun that had minus damage on it,
Uh huh.
and it was like 70. It was like 75 cards.
Ooh,
So yeah,
that's
it
a
was
big
cool.
deck.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude. Like I think at one time I had like 25 foundations at one point. Like over half of them were flipped. So yeah, I was getting like plus five on my stuff. Yeah, people died.
Yeah, you won
Yeah,
that game, right?
yeah, I
Let's.
won that game.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like
yeah,
I would have. I ended up. I guess we could kind of transition. Are
yeah,
we done talk? But
yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah. We're
go.
good.
I don't know. Like I guess we can talk about the HLC. I went, yay.
Whoop whoop.
Um, and I played in the last chance qualifier. It was
Mhm.
fine. I went 2-2 with Jiro. It was okay. Like I should have listened to my heart and played Mount Lady off of Earth and
And your
not my
boy,
head.
chillis to your
I
boy.
know.
I
But
told
the
you.
issues I had changed her to Void like 2 days before,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out that I don't like that symbol. It may be the better
Um,
symbol for
yeah.
her
You
because
just
it
don't
has
like the way
better
it plays.
defense.
Sure.
I don't like the way it plays. It's too slow. Like
Yeah.
I want to slam I want to get all the counters on turn two. I want to pressure you every turn.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I have 30 health. I'm gonna use my big booty, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
that one apt block I can a turn to slow you down and then kill you with giant attacks. So,
Right.
um, but went 2-2, which is fine. I don't care.
Mm.
We had a guy locally, Paul,
Yeah.
your backpack bros.
Yeah.
I think he was a winning in as well
Oh
going
wow,
into
that's
the
awesome.
final round. He ended up losing to Tam.
What did he play?
Um, Mirio actually. He played
Okay.
Mirio on good, so he got really close. Tam got really
Paul Swagger
close.
jacked my old deck, didn't he?
Yeah, yes he did. He also was like, oh, by the way, just a tip,
Mm-hmm.
when you get your deck box, the
Yeah.
top zipper thing,
Mm-hmm.
the
The
top
top
thing
container. Yeah.
the top container, the deck box fits. The new one that you're getting fits right in there. Yeah, it just
That's
fits right.
amazing.
Yeah, it fits just right in there. So just he'll probably tell you that, and
Perfect.
then yeah, so it's perfect. So we scrubbed out by
Mm-hmm.
any means because if you don't make it, you scrubbed out. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Sure.
whatever. And then I played in the Challenger Series event with Spike with my 75 card Spike deck.
Mm-hmm.
I went 3-1 with it, only losing to Jesse Cervini's Wolfwood deck
Mm-hmm.
because I forgot I had a Hardened Frenzy in my 18 card stage that was face down, and I had a jab or two and a Hardened Frenzy and a throw and another attack, and it ended up being that he reduced damage on a couple of them, blocked a
Mm-hmm.
couple of them, and then it was like, well, if I would have played this differently, I think I'd kill you. And he's like, maybe, but we still play. Things could have been different. He
Sure.
does
Sure. Sure.
things
Sure. Sure.
differently, but
There's a
whatever. But
possibility
like
in that line that.
possibilities,
Yeah.
yeah, because like two of my cards were also instant. It was
Mm-hmm.
instant shining flash, frenzy, jab, jab, and a frenzy down below.
God. Okay.
And I was getting plus four to everything, and he was at 18. So eventually, I would have killed him, I believe. So because I would have had
Yeah. You
plus
would need
five
like two things
eventually.
to connect. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have been plus five by the
Right.
time I
Right.
get to the last two attacks. I had to start flipping everything.
Right.
So I lose to him, and so I get fifth, so top
Mm-hmm.
eight, yay,
Whoop,
top
whoop.
eight, which is really cool. So that was fun. And then I didn't play in the retro event, but if I should have just signed up with a normal deck
Right.
and just played in the retro event and got bodied just to just play. But
Mm-hmm.
I gunslinged. I got beat up by Jeremy. I got beat up by Shane, which is fine. So I got to see a lot of cool cards.
Yeah.
I got to see Karama in action, which is my boy. So sick. I
God.
can't
Can we
wait.
talk about those new secret rares?
No, no, the secret rares. Okay, we can cut it and talk to secret rares and edit it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the secret rares are sick. I think the worst secret rare, like I not worst, but
Mm-hmm.
like I think the cheapest secret rare will be Karama's because it's really only good in that boy. Like
Sure.
it's good,
Sure.
it's generically okay, but it's like best in him.
Right.
And like everybody else's is like really good, and no matter where you play it, like and it was really funny how people were poo-pooing on Hiei's
Yeah.
That's stun 3 for like nothing. That's for
Right.
health nothing. They had to put stun 3 on a 1 check to make it like as a normal card.
Right. Yeah, in him, that card is Chasm Buster.
Yeah,
If you remember
it's
Chasm
insane.
Buster,
Yeah, that
like
card's Chasm Buster was insane, and this card's
yeah,
insane. Yeah,
it's not exactly Chasm, but it's very
no, it's
close.
very close.
And
Well, with
Chasm
his
was not a secret rare,
yeah,
so
no, yeah, that
but
was
I do think it
crazy.
is
Like,
generically fine, right?
yeah, it's
I
generically
would
good.
say
Yeah.
of all of them, it's the least exciting one
Oh
because it
yeah,
is
but
just
it's
generically good, right?
yeah,
Um,
it's
like
solid. Yeah,
like I
yeah.
agree with you that I think Karama is like it's the new tongue whip, and also sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
Crow and Frog where it doesn't count as progressive, and
Yep.
it like really fleshes out his game plan. Like
Gives him
he,
damage.
yeah,
Gives him some damage where he needs
exactly.
it. To be honest, yeah.
And then Yusuke's is dumb. Like that card is just straight up an 11/11 in him on a
Mm-hmm.
5 diff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's
It's
assuming you
pretty
got
cool.
nothing else.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. And the art, I think the art on the XSR is like the best art at all of them. Yes,
Yeah.
I love my boy Karama,
Mm-hmm.
but that art is sick. Like
Right.
that is really
Well,
cool looking.
and like, and not to mention, like you can run nice try in
Mm-hmm.
him
Oh
off of
yeah, it's
good,
like
right?
oh
Tap
yeah,
three,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Tap
I guess I could,
three,
yeah.
uh huh.
Step 3, winky
Yeah,
winky nudge
yeah.
nudge. Yeah.
So like that's gonna be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Spirit Sword Ultimate. Like you can do the exact same
Yep.
thing. Like that
Yep.
card in Kuwabara, just like, hey, I needed a way to kind of end games. Oh, here we go.
And your character doesn't work during it, by the way. So
Right. Not as long as he's got cards in his hand,
as
like.
long as he has cards in his hand, you're correct.
So I think that card is also just generically good and
Mm-hmm.
specifically very good in that character. Um,
Yeah.
and and then you got True 100% Unleashed, which I like because they gave us 100% Unleashed. It's like nah, here's the
Yeah.
true one. It's a
True 100. Yeah.
secret.
Yeah. It's secret rare. Yep.
And yeah, that card's kind of crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 6 diff, so like it's
I mean,
not free.
a free auto block is always nice. So
But when you play it as a block using its ability, it sure is free.
as long as you're under 10 or is it 10 or less,
10
or
or
is it
less.
10 or less? Yeah, it's a free block. It doesn't say fully blocked, so you could still get partialed
Mm-hmm.
and die to chip damage, but it's still it say like those reciprocal bursts that Nick was throwing this weekend. I guess I could partial it.
Yeah,
You
take
know, I
half.
could partial it, take
Oh yeah.
half. I still die because it's like 20 damage, but still,
Well, and I
whatever.
feel like the enhance on it is like
It's pretty crazy.
it's like a
Yeah, it's
better
pretty cool.
version of United States of Smash, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, it's a 3/3 to start, not great
Yeah.
on a 6 diff,
Yeah.
but +1 speed for each ready foundation in
Wink,
your
wink,
stage.
wink, wink, nudge,
Yeah,
nudge.
all right.
Only three mid three or three or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
becomes let's just say you're going to commit 1 to pass it, right? So it's going to get +9 speed if you're at 10 foundations, which you
Oh
might have
nah,
just put
man,
past your
we're in
Toguro.
deadlock.
Yeah,
This guy dares people to go into deadlock.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, like he might just
yeah,
build out to a bajillion, right? Like, but
yeah.
let's just say you're playing it conservatively.
Sure.
Plus
Yeah, you're at
9
10.
speed. It's a
Plus nine
12
speed,
speed
very good.
attack, and then plus
Very
1
good.
damage for each foundation in your rival stage. Does not matter if they're ready or not. So then
Yep.
they're gonna be at 10. Hey, plus 10 damage. I guess it's a 12
Oh,
speed doing 13.
and we also get 5 damage from our own ability
Yeah,
because
and
we
then we
get
add our
half.
character to it. So like,
Mhm. Yep.
just like Yusuke, it's like this is just a big attack that just hits
It's
super
meaty.
hard.
Yep, it's meaty. It's a big
Yeah.
meat stick, that's for sure.
Yeah. You know what's never going to happen? You're never going to kill someone with Spirit Gun Final if they got 100% unleashed in their hand.
I mean, that's kind of like lore, though,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So it's kind of lore,
Yeah. And then of course you still got, like Genkai's training or
Mhm.
whatever it was also, and that's the last one, right? That's the
Yeah,
one,
it's the action.
the action
Yeah.
that nukes a card,
Yep.
or what's the other part of it? I don't remember.
I don't remember what it does. They've shown it so long ago.
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you exactly. Yeah, so it's first
Oh
form,
man,
remove,
gotta
discard a
look it up.
card. Your rival discards a card. That's what it does. Or its
Mm.
response destroy 3 foundations after your rival plays an attack. Remove it from the game.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty good.
pretty all right. I guess the
So
only
you're
bad thing about that is it sits in your card pool. But
whatever. I mean, like it's pretty good. Like if you're in deadlock and they go to play like an attack with like deadlock on, you're like, nope.
or they're
Nuke
just
3
like
foundation.
they
Yeah, just
commit
nuke
their
3
last ones
foundation.
to get that final attack off, and you're like,
Mhm.
need a 5, got it, gone.
Yeah.
That's assuming you blocked
Ooh,
4 times. But
yeah. I mean, she technically could probably block 4 times because with
Possibly.
her, and especially if she damage redux and then partial things, and it's like, cool, I sniped attack off the top of my deck,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So
Oh man.
if it's anyone who can do that, it's her. She could do that.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to play that deck too. But
I know, me too. I
but
know. I think she was on. I think she was in the highly wanted to play tier for both of us. I don't remember the tier we did last week. So
yeah, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was really cool. Other
Hmm.
news they released. Well, I guess for other news, they've also been showing off some of the
Yeah.
reprints that are coming
Oh,
forward.
still have to finish the HLC talk
Oh,
before we
sorry.
go
Yeah,
into
what's
that.
up? Sorry.
Yeah. So during gunslinging they showed a bunch of reprints that weren't known yet. Keiko's Aid, Spirit Charge Kick, Toughest Punk in High School, High Spirit Awareness. I guess it was something funny happened day one of gunslinging. They weren't supposed to have the SRs in their decks, and then I think Shane forgot to take his out, and he accidentally played one and then ripped it back. Yeah, I think he was playing Spirit Gun Final, and he's like, "Oop, nope, no one
Oh,
could see that." Yeah,
whoopsie.
so it's like, oopsies. But yeah, so they actually were playing 80% power decks day one, and then day
Mm,
two they got to throw in the secret rares and things where kaboom kaboom.
right.
Teams was fun. Teams is always fun. They need to make it best of three instead of best of one because I killed most of my opponents in 5 minutes, or they killed me in 5 minutes, and we sat there. So after round two, um, I think it was me and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I killed him in like 6 minutes, and then I go, "You want to just play a real match?" And then he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't really care like about winning or anything. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to play a full set." And he's like, "Sure, that's cool." So I won game one, he won game two, I won game three. So it was a traditional win.
Right.
And then it was like. And I got to meet some really cool new people.
Mm-hmm.
Rochester has a bunch of new people. So
Really cool.
my last opponent, her name was Christina.
Mm-hmm.
She played Hero. She was playing Ochako too,
Mm-hmm.
and then she moved on. She's like, I usually don't play meta decks. She's very a newer player. She's super sweet, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, oh, I like Jiro. I got really, and now I really like her. And now she's leaving, and we were joking about that. But fun fact, she was born on Christmas as well. We were both Christmas
What? Your
babies.
birthday
Yeah.
twins?
Yeah, we're birthday twins. So it was super. It was like we whipped out each other's IDs and we were like, I'm like, look at me, look how
Confirmed.
old I am. She's like, look at me, look how young I am. I'm like, oh, I'm in shambles.
Oh no,
So
you could be
yeah.
my kid.
Oh, maybe, but yeah, it was really funny. But it was really good. They were super nice. They were teaming with Jessie, her and her husband, and
Mhm,
um, or her partner, and it
mhm.
was really cool. It was really nice. It was really neat to meet a lot of the newer crowd that came out to the HLC just to like play games and hang
Yeah.
out. It was like really cool. And again, it was always good seeing everyone. It was really funny. We made a joke because since it was double elimination,
Mhm.
Nick was in winners finals and he had to wait like 6 to 7 hours for his
Yeah.
grand finals match, which is kind of crappy, but in a way, it's kind of like that's how double elimination works. So you can't
Right.
really get around it. So I actually think I liked the double elimination tournament. I thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I'm not entirely sure if they'll stick with it just
I,
because of how long it took. Because it did go pretty late into Sunday. We didn't get done till like 10:30, 11. It
right.
was
So
crazy.
so I
Yeah.
think what they need to do. Hold on a second. Sorry. I think what they need to do is if they're gonna do that, you need to put a time cap on rounds. And I know that's like super taboo. People don't
Yeah.
want to hear that. But
Yeah.
like double the time. Like give
Yeah.
90-minute rounds or
Yeah.
whatever. So you can still
Because it
take your
was
time
like,
going the tank. But like in real
yeah.
in all honesty, like when it gets to we've been playing this one game, not a round, for
Yeah.
an hour and 30 minutes, and it's like how many times do you really need to check your face downs? How many times do you really need
Yeah.
to
No,
check
that's
the
true.
discard
I think
pile?
I do. There was a common thing said that maybe whoever was judging some matches should have been like, can you guys just pick it up a bit
Rate to
because
play. Yeah.
I mean, even though from what I heard from
Hmm.
players is that the
Yeah.
players were playing at a decent clip. It was just sometimes they were taking, maybe an extra minute or two to just double check their numbers or whatever. But
Excuse me.
I
Sorry.
still think that the judge could have said, "Hey, man, can you know,
Yeah.
make a decision fast?" Granted, you can't really say that when I guess money wasn't on the line, so you can't
Right.
really say that. You can say that because
I think you
it's
just
a different,
you
or
need to have
whatever.
like
I
a
don't know.
the problem is that they
Yeah,
have to reach a winner, right? So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think what you do is if it's timed, the concern is that you'll have someone who wins game one and then they'll just stall for
mhm,
time, right? They'll just turtle
yeah,
up, and
yeah,
like that happens anyway. and yeah, that's super crappy. And yeah, I'm not saying that I'm like exclusively for the idea of timed rounds, but I think if you're going to do double
Yeah.
elim, which I think the double elim was a cool format,
Mhm.
because I think as a competitor, it would feel good to know like, hey, all right, I gave away my one loss, I got to tighten up. And then even
Mhm.
further, like if you can reset the bracket coming from losers, like you are
Yeah.
gonna feel like the king of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure. Yeah.
So
But yeah, I
yeah,
also want to shout out Yu Hung. He was a beast. Like he
yeah,
did really well and then dropped to losers and just screamed through losers and just, I know met God's anointed in
yeah,
finals. Like
yeah.
Nick
Nick,
was not Nick did not drop around period all weekend. Like,
yeah.
even in he said even in he got to play against Jeremy Ray's Karama deck, and
Mm-hmm.
he played his double front beatdown Deku deck. He got to resolve double front beatdown 5 times, never checked a one, and hit 9 out of 10 possible foundations. That man was not losing at all that
Yeah, the
weekend.
UFS guides or UVS
Yeah,
guides had anointed him this
yep,
weekend. Apparently,
this weekend. Yes,
he
exactly.
used
They're like,
all.
we're gonna give you Eva 2 in this format. There you go.
Yeah,
This is your one, man. This is
yeah.
your one.
There you go. Make it happen. Um, yeah, like I props to Nick. Congratulations,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, he
Well
played his
earned.
heart. He played his
Yeah,
mind out. Both the finalists played their
yeah,
minds out.
yeah,
Seriously.
and uh, I'm gonna mispronounce names again. I'm sorry. You
You
it's
hung.
you hung. All right, there you go. You hung.
Yeah.
See, I knew
Yeah.
I get it wrong. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
man. Props, man. Crazy awesome play. Like I watched all the grand finals. I watched most of
Oceania,
St.
man.
Loser finals, and
Gotta say, Oceania and EU, man, they came out. They came out to
oh
play
yeah,
this weekend. Can't
yeah,
can't poo poo on them very much at
yeah.
all.
They traveled, man. They
They
wanted it,
traveled and they did
and
really, really
and
well.
they
Yeah.
competed. Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I mean, we got the two time going to the USA, but
Okay,
it's okay.
so this is what I said.
Uh,
Old heads still got it. We're 2 for 2 in HLC worlds, man.
true
Old
that.
heads still got it.
True that.
You youngins need to catch up.
Yeah. Well,
Youngins
that's
gotta
the
catch up.
virtue of being an old head, right? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they catch
yep.
up by becoming one of us. Like
Yes, exactly. You are
so,
right. Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but yeah, no, and like it was really cool to see, like you're saying, like people who've been competing for a long time still showing up, and you do, man. Like people brought such cool decks. Like JJ and Phil, both brought really cool decks. I don't know if you got to see either of their decks, but
Hey, talk to JJ about his deck. I just thought Phil was just memeing to meme. So, because he
yeah.
wanted, I think he wanted the free vacation and hangout time, and he's like,
I
if I win, I win, man. I think that's what it
look
was. I
when
think it
that
was one
man
of those two.
played the Price for
Yeah,
Peace, I was
you,
like, this is so dope. Like I love
yeah.
that card anyway, and Phil's just out here
Uh,
like slinging it, like let's go.
the crowd went nuts when he played that, and then we all had a collective cry and whimper
Oh,
when he drew nothing but the
like
cards that don't
yes.
really matter.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
drew actual nothing. Like it was just like, well, I
yep,
got one more attack. That doesn't kill you. All right,
yep,
GG, I
yep,
lose. Like he literally
yep,
just scooped it up and
exactly.
shook his hand.
Yep, yep, yep,
Oh,
yep.
it was awesome. But yeah, it looked like it was a great time. I'm glad to hear it
Yeah, it
was a
was.
great time.
Yeah, I want to props UVS Games, man. They put on a really good party. Like there was a good
Hmm.
atmosphere, like the side events were ran well.
Hmm.
Like I said last night, like on my stream, the only like real nitpick I had was the internet service sucked in there
Yeah.
because we do everything off our phones now to report, and
Right.
the internet service was really bad, and they acknowledged it. They're like, we didn't think it would be this big of an issue because it's technically attached to the hotel.
Right.
For some reason the hotel Wi-Fi doesn't extend to where we were at.
Oh, okay.
Very weird,
Yeah.
but other than that, like there was places like, unlike Dallas of I guess this year and the year before, there were places to within walking distance to eat. If you were bored, you had Disney 3 blocks down if you wanted to go to Disney World.
Right.
Like there was just things to do around the venue,
Hmm.
which was really cool. And I'm glad we're going back there next year
Hmm.
because that place was, granted it's on the East Coast and no one likes to go to Florida because Florida, but that's, your
Yeah.
personal opinions or not.
Sure.
Weather was great. It was like 60s, 70s. So
Hmm.
granted we were inside, but like when we were walking around doing things, it was perfect.
Hmm.
Miller's Ale House, which is behind the 7-Eleven
Hmm.
across the street, we ate there 3 nights in a row. Best place in the area. Like we
Yeah.
went to Hooters one night, which I have a good story about Hooters, and
Mm.
then that's where I got called a nice young man by some random old lady. So yeah, I'll
Okay.
get into it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. That's enough, right?
it was me, Grant Padley, Luke Quincy, Liam Chalmer, Kyle. I don't know your last name. I'm sorry, but he's also one of the. He goes by Kyle7 Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and Luke's brother, which I forget his name. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Luke. We were all sitting at a high top eating food, and this lady comes around the corner from the around our high top. She goes, "Excuse me," and we're like, yeah." And she goes, she points to me. She goes, "You, first, I'm married, so I'm not hitting on you. I just want to say." By the way you're interacting with your friends and the way you're talking, it's like I could tell you're a really, really nice young man, and I hope and pray my son becomes just like you. And she's like, I hope you have a good night, and da 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 da. And I go, thank you, and we say thanks, and she
Yeah.
turns away, and she and and Luke's brother goes, fuck that lady, man. And I'm like, why? She's like, she just called us all assholes. And I go, facts, but I'm taking my win when I can get it. I got called a nice young
Nice
man.
young man.
So that
You know
entire
how long it's
weekend,
been since I've been called
I
young?
I know, man. Like, so Grant and all the boys were just calling me the night. It was, oh, Chris is a nice young man, nice young
Oh.
man. So it was just like, fuck you guys. But yeah, it was great. It was a great weekend with the boys, and I got to hang out with like Jacob Masur, who I
Mhm.
usually get to hang out with, Kevin and Tim. All that. We got
Oh
to play
yeah.
board games and stuff like that. Man, it was a blast. Like I always say like these are the best trips like for cards. Like
Hmm.
these are my favorite trips. But like, I love being home. I get homesick, but by the end of the trip, but
Sure.
man, like for those like 4 days, it's so intense and it's so like family friend driven. It's just like there's nothing like it. Like I really suggest if you're a newer player and you're afraid of going to an event like a regional or whatever, just come out, man. Like you're
And
gonna get welcome.
and
And it
if
was
we're
really
there,
cool to
just come
see.
up and say hey
Yeah.
to us. We'll
Yeah, and
welcome you.
like
You know, you don't
I
got
am
nobody else. We'll
I
introduce you
am
to people.
flabbergasted by the amount of new people who are traveling to play the game. Like
Hmm.
it's just, and it wasn't even like, oh, I'm getting out when my hero ends. It's like people were excited about the Yu Yu Hakusho cards. It was like, come for Yu, come for MHA, stay for the rest of your life. It was just
Right.
like one of those atmospheres, and it was really cool. And so, like, I want to give UVS Games props where they deserve it.
Yeah. Well,
Like
and I think
this weekend was great.
And I think that, like, to your point, like, there is a segment of players who only want to play MHA who they're probably not going to pick up any of the new stuff. They may play in MHA only stuff, or they might just leave the game. That's just the reality. But I don't think that's the majority of players that you picked up with MHA, because the reality is
Correct.
that the game itself is what's fun. The properties, if you like one, is just a bonus. Like, this is something that I
Right.
had to learn and accept a couple years into playing the game, was that I couldn't just play the characters that I liked from Street Fighter, especially if I wanted to compete at events. Like, I needed to play what was actually good.
Oh, you
Um,
mean you couldn't play Chun Li for the rest of your life?
I'm a Ken stand, so I'm like, that was my boy.
Yeah,
My
I figured.
old
Yeah.
Sabretooth Games handle was Ken Masters. Okay, so
Ooh,
yeah,
look at you.
yeah, we
Wow.
had it.
You are
But
old.
that being said, like that's
What's a forum?
yeah, I know, right? I had to learn that way back in the day, and then started doing better at the game and enjoying the
Yeah.
game more, and not just, hey, I'm playing as one of my favorite characters. Like, it's great when you can play your favorite character and they're competitive. Yeah, I know. Well,
Hot lady, baby.
that's me right now.
Yeah.
Baka Go Forward, right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yep.
was telling you
Yep.
just earlier tonight before we started recording, I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, man, like, I'm hyped for some of the new characters, and I want to build them for sure. But like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be playing my boy. Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh
I,
yeah,
I
for
even
sure.
messaged Jeremy the other day. I was like, hey man, just let you know, I'm gonna be playing my boy. I was like, if you want to throw him some more support somewhere, that'd be cool.
Give me some more free damage reduction right now. Give
Yeah,
me some speed
anything
on
to
top.
replace anything would be okay with me. I'm not gonna complain about it. Maybe some more Void Fury attacks that reduce their own damage. I don't know. I'm just pitching ideas out, but there's only a few.
He doesn't need any more attacks, to be honest.
No, he really
He's good.
doesn't.
He's good.
His
He's
kid's
good.
pretty good. Um,
This kid's pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah.
but all that kidding aside,
Now that. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think they're going to end up with more players than they began with, and that's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the events numbers have shown those things, and I'm sure that it's just going to continue to grow as we get more lenses. Like, I still stand by. I think, even though I'm not like a huge Critical Role fan, like, I don't dislike it. It's just
Oh,
all
we're
new to
gonna get.
me.
Oh man,
I
that's what.
think
I
people
was
are going to go
joking with.
crazy.
They had a big Critical Role like that on Vox Machina Mighty Nine banner, and I
Mhm.
was like, if the lights go out in this place, that will be gone, and I will be nowhere to be seen, and I will gladly go to jail for it. So yeah, like
That's going to happen.
also side note, as the HLC was going on, they were at MegaCon. There was a
Uh-huh.
giant convention this weekend,
Right.
and they were demoing. They had pulled in a bunch of people because I had seen some random people walking in and out, like
Hmm.
Trick Champ Steven, and Matt Vallejos was there, and I'm like,
Hmm.
where you guys been? And they're like, oh, we're demoing at MegaCon.
Like
So they
Street
had like
Fighter
some
Matt?
rock.
Oh no, no, that's someone else. Sorry.
Matt Vallejos.
Yeah.
He goes by Murder Cleese in the Discord.
Okay.
He's an old timer. He usually judges now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
from LA and stuff.
Okay.
And they had a huge team
Hmm.
demoing at MegaCon this weekend while all this was going on. So that's crazy. Like they
Oh
were like,
yeah.
well, we might as well take advantage of it. So maybe that's why we're going back, because
Maybe. Might be
that's
when
where
that event's
MegaCon
happening
is.
as well. Yeah. And it's a
Yeah,
twofer.
maybe. So the twofer, so it's
Yeah.
super easy for them. And and Lohan and Paul were available. They had some new team members, I guess, that were there.
Okay.
I didn't get to meet any of them. So,
Cool.
um, but yeah, like I was chit-chatting with them, and I even got an answer for it. I was like, "Hey, Lohan, I got this weird email about my taxes." And he's like, "Did you get paid by us?" And he's like, I'm like, "Yeah." And I go, "Oh, it's from casting, or I think it may have been the HLC." He's
Hmm.
like, "Shoot this over to this person just to make sure it's not, they didn't get hacked." So
Right.
everything's all good. They didn't get hacked,
Sweet.
everybody. So,
That's good.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so good. Yeah, but no, like they were they were really interested. They want to know what we were talking about. Like, hey, you need to make 6 booster sets of that. And I pointed to the Critical Role thing, and I was like, I'll go broke.
And
So yeah,
that's when you were like, also, you guys need to come back on the pod. It's been a minute.
yeah.
We need to
It's
catch
been a
up.
minute.
I hadn't
I
talked
didn't
to him.
drop that because I figured that's more your thing.
Okay,
It's
fair
more
enough.
your thing.
Yeah, I'll
It's
reach
more
out
your
to him,
thing.
see what I can make happen.
I don't like pressuring people to do stuff.
That's not
So I'm
pressure.
not
That's
really
just
into push.
extending an
I know.
invitation. There's no pressure
Oh,
there.
also, just to let you know, I'm gonna say this. Tim said he's good to come on for the by set one thing.
Okay,
So
cool.
we just gotta check in with our fourth and see
Yeah,
if they're available. So maybe we have to do it like on a weekend or on a Tuesday night, because I know
yeah.
Tim has locals Tuesdays sometimes, but
Okay.
maybe he can, because I know he said he wants to talk about some cards in set one that weren't played that probably should have been played. Um,
Yeah,
Fulfill my duty for one of them. So I
yeah.
think is
That
one of
card's
the
a pretty
cards
good
that
one.
probably should have been played a lot more than it really was.
Yeah,
But
it's a pretty
anywho,
impactful card.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
before we move on from the HLC to anything else, I made the joke that instead of having the All Might standees in stores now,
Hmm.
we need a Nick Reagan standee that says, "I won the best prize in gaming. Come play Universes." So it would be about the same height because that man is a
he
giant.
is he is a pretty tall
So
dude.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
true.
But congratulations, and I'm
Yeah,
super happy for him. So.
and hope everyone enjoyed their trip as much as Chris did. I am super jelly. So things that I do get
Mhm.
to enjoy with everyone else is the news, which
Yes, there we go.
they just dropped today, the ban and errata list for this
Yep.
month, which, spoilers, it's nada. There's nothing on there. And that's because, of course, rotation's happening. So, like,
I
why
gotta.
why ban or change anything before you know what things are going to be? And
Yeah.
you know,
I'm wondering if anything in March is going to happen. I wonder. I doubt anything in March is going to happen, but I
I
bet
think
you in
April.
April something's going to happen in April, and I think it has to deal with Twisty Azure Inferno. But
I could see I could see
that's my
April
yeah. April
being the
going to do
first
something's
chance that
going to
something could happen. I'm not gonna say I
yeah
think something will happen because
yeah
I don't think there. I mean, like it's just so hard to know, and at
oh
that
yeah I
point, they're
know
gonna have
yeah
a very limited pool of data, and they seem to be wanting to be
sure
very data
that
informed when
was
they make these calls.
that was kind of my thing going into the Challenger event series. 'Cause I played Spike with just every DR card underneath the board, and I'm not losing to Twisting Azure Inferno. And I didn't. I lost
Yeah,
to other attack, but I didn't lose to Twisting Azure Inferno.
right.
That was for sure. Yep.
Yeah,
It's funny watching someone nuke their entire hand to try to get it to 7 damage. It's
right. Or
very
even
funny.
further, like if you can just interact with that ability at all, a lot of times
Mhm.
those decks don't have another way to pump the damage outside of their character or whatever else it was they were banking on
Right.
because they assume that no one's gonna have anything to do to interact with it, right? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I do think that the new
Whatever.
set will make a pretty big splash. So
Yeah,
we'll
same.
see what ends up being good or not good. The Wish tournament won't be a good indicator because you have to play a new character. So like maybe if they see some really crazy 2 card or 3 card interaction, then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
gotta do something about that." But outside of
Yeah.
that, I don't think you're even gonna have enough data to really act on it in April. It'll be once these regionals and these store locals and that sort of stuff and starts coming in, the data from those events.
There
That's when
is
they'll be able to
a
look at it.
There is a webcam regional in the middle of March, so
Is
they
it
may have some data. Yeah, the webcam regional's in March.
okay?
It's like 3 weeks after UU drops. So if
Okay,
anything, maybe something may come out of that. And that's why I was
yeah,
saying Twisting Azure Inferno, something may happen to it
yeah.
in April, just because it's just to be honest, the Twisting Azure Inferno is the easy deck to build right now, and it pilots itself. And wait, what's webcam? Easy. You want to play easy decks that pilot themselves.
Yeah, I
So
mean, like
you know,
Wolfwood with that is instantly online.
Crazy.
I mean, like
Yes.
the thing is that you had Dobby 3 or 2,
Hold
Dobby
Dobby
2
2 the
the
entire
entire
time. He
time.
didn't make a splash at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and exactly, he didn't make a splash at all. Wolfwood's got health and draws more cards and a bigger life
Yeah.
pool, so like those things matter.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that
Mm-hmm.
we've had characters who just add 3 damage to it for
Sure.
free, and they didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. So I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
See?
All that being said, I'm really
I
excited
also
for
don't
it.
think I also don't think it's gonna matter either because I think some of the UU characters just beat the hell out of that deck. So
Yeah, or there's just cards that also just take care of
yeah.
it, right? Like things that like
Mm-hmm.
set damage to 4 or reduce it by 2
Yep.
or whatever. Like there's a lot of DR in that set, so I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah. Sure. That
But
was
yeah,
that
that's
was a plug for referee jury the UR. So I'll take all your copies, everybody.
yeah. No one
So
needs
yeah.
to play that card. Just go ahead and
No.
pass them on to the UA boys. We'll take them
Yes,
right off your
please.
hands.
We like our deliverances with extra abilities. You
Right.
know.
Um, so especially in this game where people like to throw giant attacks, like especially in this new set, like we were just
Yeah.
talking about some of these
Yep.
giant attacks people be
Giant
throwing.
attack.
Like, good
Yeah.
grief.
Yep.
Um,
We did get to see the chromes too, by the way, and the chromes look fantastic.
yeah,
They look great.
yeah, they do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that I don't feel more compelled to get one of them. Not that they don't look good. It's just like
Yeah.
because I'm not as big of a fan. Like
Hmm.
it's not like my top 5 animes. It's not a bad one, but it's not like top five. So I'm
Yeah.
not like I gotta have it. Whereas like
Yeah.
even still, man, like anyone with a Bakugo Chrome that they just want to let go for a reasonable price or for trades, hit me up.
When they showed the
Bakugo 4,
Karama
just to clarify.
when they showed the Karama Chrome and it didn't have a difficulty in check value, I
Mm-hmm.
instantly walked up to J-Ray and I said, "Hey man, thanks for saving me like $2,400. I
Right.
appreciate you."
Yeah.
You know, because I will
I
straight up trade any other Chrome for a Karama Chrome if
right.
I pull one.
He
Easy,
his
easy.
Chrome is actually my favorite one. Like I like
It-
the profile picture of him as opposed to like the
yeah.
silhouette outline. Like
Mhm.
I like his the most.
Yeah.
I I'm glad they have already clarified that you can't have cards without a difficulty in your deck because that's immediately what my question was like, oh wait, how does this work? Because he's a stacker and doesn't have a
Yeah.
difficulty. Um,
So what you do is you play the Chrome,
mhm,
right? You play the XR.
mhm.
You play one regular copy. And then whenever they come out with an alt art character, you play one of each, like a savage, and you
God.
tilt people. That's what you do. That's exactly
Mm-mm,
what you do. And who
mm-mm.
does that? This guy. So yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Instantly tilted. I've won the
That
mind game against
that
Matt
is
already.
the Phil Birch
Oh,
special. There was
oh, I've done that
Revoke
to
or
Phil.
something
I've
that he
done
used to do that with, and I was just like, "What are you
uh
doing?"
I did that to Phil at a Rockford PTC with Revoke. I had the
Oh, maybe
black and
that's what I'm
white.
thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of.
I had the original one. I had an alt art, and then I had the Blood Omen one or whatever. And he's like,
God.
"What the f are you doing, you monkey?" And I'm like,
Yes, that sounds
"Eh,
about right. That's what I was thinking
yeah, it was
of.
awesome. Yeah, it was
Feels like
great.
me.
It was
We're in the same boat here. You don't do that.
yeah.
That's not right.
Oh no, you. Someone said like you give away information if you do that. I was like, I'm playing 4 copies of the best card in the game already. What's giving that away? You know. So
Right.
it's like,
But now I
it's just
know
a
which
fun.
one you have. Tee hee tee hee.
It's a fun mind game to mess with friends. So
Right.
it's another level of the psychological warfare we put
That's
on
right.
each other.
He plays it. He just sees my head.
You twitch, you know.
but but yeah, no, I'm excited for the Chromes. There's only 4 this
Yeah,
time.
it's good. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. It's the boys.
I honestly thought we might have gotten a 5th one, being like younger Tagoro
Right.
or the Tagoro brothers
Mhm.
or Sam and Barrett, like the picture they showed. Did you see that on the stream?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so like there was a
Oh,
picture
yeah,
of
yeah, where Barrett's out on his shoulder.
yeah,
Yes, yeah,
where
yeah.
Barrett's
Sorry,
on his
I did
shoulder.
see
So
that.
yeah, like if we get that as an alt art, please, that would be
Um,
great. I would
well, I
love
mean,
that.
I'm surprised Genkai didn't get one at that point,
Get
right? Like
one?
she trained the
Yeah.
team, like she's
As like
just
the masked fighter or something like that.
yeah,
Like
she's
they
like
could have had her as
the
the masked
only
fighter.
hurrah she's gonna get. Like she's not gonna be in any other sets, even if they did another um
Yeah,
UU set
spoiler
because
alert, she did.
yeah, she very did. So
She very,
given
very
that,
did. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I thought that would be kind of cool, but I'm
Yeah,
okay with her
I
not having
honestly,
that because I want to play her and I don't want to get a Chrome. So
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm surprised younger Tagoro because I was pretty sure younger Tagoro was like the SR we didn't know about because obviously
yeah,
the boys would get one. Genkai had one. It's like it's got to be younger Tagoro because he's like the bad guy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know,
Man, I was thinking about
technically he's not really bad, but he's kind of honorable at the same time because he wants to fight Yusuke on the same level, but he's
yeah,
still really bad.
yeah,
He did some bad things to get there.
yeah.
You know, he just wants to die at full power against
Right.
Yusuke. He just wants Yusuke to kill him, is what he wants.
Um.
That's what it is.
So speaking of which, I realized that I think Genkai matched into him is like a terrible matchup for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just like, I'm gonna add
Lore.
infinite damage to stuff. She's like, I'm gonna discard a card to get it back to printed. Ooh, like
That's lore. That's what we call lore, Matt.
I
That's a
know,
lore battle.
I know. I knew
There.
you would
Lore.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's lore. Like Karama, he plants seeds on the battlefield to
Mhm.
kill you. You know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
They
there's
did their
some lore
homework.
there. Oh yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. How far along are we? I don't know.
Um.
What's the time we're at? We
Um.
have an hour?
I think
I don't know.
we're. Is there anything else we need to talk about and cover? I don't think there's anything else that's happened yet.
No,
Um.
just because dark tournaments on the 23rd, 24th, that's when they start.
Right.
Challenger event series ends next week, so you can order your
Yeah.
promos and
Soonish.
your Cowboy Bebop mat.
Yeah.
I think it's that Monday or Tuesday you get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole else lot because we just had the HLC. Congrats to everybody.
Right.
Safe travels if you haven't gotten home yet.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully you're
I
home
hope.
when you make it.
Yeah,
By the time this is on YouTube, I hope you're home. But if not,
I hope
be
you're home.
be
I know some
safe.
people were extending vacations because
Okay.
they live out of the country, so why
Makes
not?
sense. Right. You're here.
Extend your vacation. Yeah, I don't have anything else. It's just
Yeah.
like, it was
Well,
awesome. Oh, yeah.
as always, guys, do all the algorithm things.
Algorithmic
Like and
things.
subscribe, comment down below. Yeah,
One day Matt will put a card up there linking to another video. I don't
yeah,
know where, but he'll put it somewhere.
yeah. If you want some additional input and say or content, you can always check out our Patreon as well. Get you into our Discord. You can come chat with
Oh
us.
yeah, we do have the two old heads, one deck thing coming
Yeah,
up
we have.
sometime soon.
So yeah, with our Patreon,
Figured
you
out.
get to vote on
Yep.
that. So
Yep.
patrons, we have not forgotten. That is in the works right now. So we're gonna
We have
do
it.
that,
I
and we'll
have
have
it
a
on
new
my
one out
note.
for you soon. So
Need to do.
yeah, see how this guy
Right
still
here in my
uses
note.
paper and pens. This is what I'm dealing with, guys.
I'm a nice young. Hey, I'm a nice young
He's a
man who
nice
uses
young
paper
man.
and pen. Okay?
But
If
guys,
that's not the title of the episode, I'm gonna be sad.
God,
So
two nice young men. All right, there you go. Or no, just one. No, two nice. Just
I'm a
one.
two nice young men sounds kind of weird. You may
Well,
not want to Google that.
here's what we'll do. We'll let the leave a comment down below. Which one of us is the nice young man? It's clearly Chris. But all right, guys, y'all be
All right,
good.
everyone.
Thanks for joining
Have a
us.
good
We'll catch
night.
you with you later.
Catch you later.